Well, hello there, Chick Chat. We are back.
Tiki-taki.
I think you're on the wrong one for Tiki Taki.
I know. I was just dancing like this, and then I realized I sound like
Vinny.
Yes, but we will be covering Jersey Shore and Tiki-taki Tantics later on today. So stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Yes. But today, right now, we're going to cover Match Me Abroad, episode 11. Yes. And we start right off with Sarah, who's doing a pool date, but does not want to go swimming. I literally think this whole pool date was just a reason for her to make this man take his shirt off. That she's like begging for it the whole time.
It was. My mom is FaceTiming me.
Well, tell her.
Sorry. Hello.
Anyway, so yeah, he shows up with a bag in tow with a nice designer keychain. And that just made her heart flutter.
I think it was super thoughtful, actually. I was kind of surprised. I know Dolly wants to always be talking about how she needs to tone it down. And I thought that this was a perfect way. I bet that Dolly orchestrated this whole thing. She's like, go get her something designer, but make it the smallest, cheapest thing you can find there.
Which is still probably like $100.
Yeah. Yes. I thought it was super cute.
Yes. So basically he proves that he has the means, but he's going to make her work a little bit more for it. But she does actually ask him about the whole toning it down thing, because Dolly's made a point to tell her this whole time that she needs to tone down her hair and her makeup and just like getting all dolled up. And she asked him if that's like an issue for him, if he thinks that she should start toning it down. And he says, if I'm going to love you or if I'm going to fall in love with you, it's got to be you. And I don't really want you to change anything about yourself. Even though at first he did have his first like, oh, she might be a little bit of a bimbo.
I know.
But I think getting to know her has really changed that for him. And I don't think he wants her to change anything about herself, especially for him or just to date.
I agree. I also think that, we do learn when he shows up that he's going to this bodybuilding competition. So he's going to be away for a while. Mm-hmm. And she's obviously bummed out and disappointed, but she did seem supportive of it. She was like, we'll have our cheat day when you win and I'll be so excited for you. So I think that her opening up space for something that maybe she didn't understand, but, allowed him to have space for, I think that also gave him some room to be, even more open and understanding, because you're right. At the beginning, he was a little judgy.
Wasn't sure about her. And to us in the confessional, she's not very happy about him leaving. She's like, oh, well, I'm only here for so long.
Yeah. Which is true, but she also did acknowledge he probably had this planned a long time before. But both of their realities are valid. So I guess we'll see later what he plans to do with that. But she does convince him to strip down and take a nice cannonball into the pool.
How strange, though, like to not even just go in the shallow part, or if there is one, I don't know. Why do a pool date if you're going to be completely covered just to watch this man swim? It feels a little predatory to me.
It felt super predatory to me as well. Like, just throw your hair up in a bun real quick. If you do a sloppy bun, even if you have curls in your hair, they'll come out after 10 minutes.
Or extensions. Like, I bet she's got extensions in, but it doesn't mean...
Definitely.
You can't like throw it up a little or.
And I'm sorry, but your hair's not actually done. It's not done like this. Okay. It's done. That's you can do that again.
I'm sure she doesn't want her makeup ruined or whatever, but if you just keep this part above water, I don't think he'll splash you or anything.
I think he did splash her, but I think he literally did that because she didn't even bother to come. At least just come dip your little toes.
Put your legs in there. This woman's wearing a full gown to I know it's a cover, but it looks like a full gown to the damn pool. And not even a swimsuit, but she wants to see him with his shirt off so bad. I was like,
what is that saying? I know that this isn't actually what it applies to, but what is that saying? Like, you have to sample the cow. I'm not going to even try that. Never mind.
You have to something about cow milk.
Something about
Why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free?
well, that's about like getting married and
Okay.
plain house kind of thing. But I think I don't know. Like I said, I'm just gonna stop. Drop your comments below if you can decipher my words right now.
Yeah, I still found this to be interesting that she's just here on her little lawn chair, not even getting any sun because she's in the shade, and just like, which that's fine. I'm not for getting sunburned if that's what's going to happen to you, but in a full like gown thing, it didn't even look like she got a swimsuit on under that. Like maybe just like possible, I guess. And she's
they
just
do like to lounge by a pool, but it was very it was like objectifying kind of.
like the best view in Singapore while I sit here with my new designer keychain. Thank you for my flower.
I think this is her best effort of flirting, to be honest. I think her flirting is a little bit objectifying, which can you blame her? Because people probably objectify her all day long. So why not?
Lead by example. But she did call him babe, which I did catch that. So they're on like a babe status.
They're cute. They're flirting. They're vibing. She's objectifying him instead of him objectifying her. So I think they're on a good pathway. We'll see more of them later.
It is a nice change. But here we see Harold actually getting to meet Amber's friend. She caved and she brought Harold to meet her friend. I forget the friend's name.
Joe.
Okay. And she's only known Joe for like 3 to 4 years. So I was expecting like a long-term friend. But, that's fine. We'll stick with Joe. She seemed nice.
I think maybe this was probably, like you said, I think it's not a very long-term friend. I mean, a close friend, but not very long-term. This is probably the additional layer, before the deep circle.
Her other obstacles.
Yes, the first obstacle, baby bump.
Yeah, so
either way, Harold is panicking.
He's nervous, even though this was his idea. He is very happy about that last date because it proved that he can plan dates, and apparently he picked this restaurant as well. So they're giving Harold all kinds of power right now.
They definitely are, yeah. And he picked like a Korean barbecue place, and he said he's never done Korean barbecue. So I think he really is taking Dolly's advice and trying to do the best that he can with it. And I just think Harold just deserves all the props. He's really pulling out all the stops for his girl Amber, and I hope she warms up more quickly. Although I do understand that this is fast. It's had to have been 2, maybe 3 weeks that he's been here, and so like a week, maybe 2 that he's met her.
Right, and yeah, probably. So I do think it is fast for her, especially. I mean, for Harold, no. I mean, they would be married tomorrow if it was up to Harold in a courthouse. But I thought it was funny. They went to a Korean barbecue, which, like, I guess barbecue is different everywhere because, like, that meat wasn't even cooked.
So they called it sushimi, and I'm not an expert, but I'm pretty sure that means that it's served raw. So I think that was just a side dish because in at least American Korean barbecue, it's sort of like there's a barbecue plate and you make the food there, which I did see a little bit of. It wasn't featured, but I did see people on the hot plate actually cooking their meat. So I think that was maybe an appetizer or something. But I did happen to get because it was so good.
He's like, it's good.
This is the second time now that he's almost died eating food with this woman. So you can tell he's really into her.
Really putting himself out there. The friend caught it. She's like, oh, the look on your face.
Yeah, she's like, I saw that look. He's also drinking alcohol too. They all ordered rice wine, which I've never had or heard of, but they drink it out of that pot thing, which makes me wonder if it's warm. I don't know why. Makes me wonder if it's warm, but it looks like they, heat it up in there. So let me know if any of you watching have ever had rice wine. Even more bonus points if you've had it in Singapore. But let me know how it's served. What is it like? I think of it like hot milk. Like when I see it in those containers, I think of like hot milk that you would give a kitten.
Yeah, I don't know, because like when me and Dean went got hibachi, I know it's like Japanese, so it's a little different, but I think he got, is it kimchi? That's like a hot
Yeah.
alcohol.
Yes, that I've had
Yeah.
before. Like you do little shots of it, right?
Yeah, unless you're Dean, then you just kind of, but yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I maybe that's just like normal in Asian cultures, have like warm
Not
alcohol.
kimchi. Kimchi is like
I don't remember the name of it because I couldn't drink it anyways.
kombucha.
I don't remember what it was. I can text him and ask him what it was.
Yeah, I think we probably sound so funny.
Sorry, guys, we're not very prepared for this.
Anyways, they had some rice wine. Harold doesn't really drink alcohol, and he decided that this was a good occasion for him to loosen up a little bit and to try some raw beef. And I just love seeing Harold's adventurous side. That is one that I haven't seen, and I really do think Amber brings it out, whether that's just him trying to impress her or if that's just kind of the nature of their relationship.
Sake. It was sake.
Sake. Yes, that's the little shots that you have.
Yeah.
Duh.
Sake, he says.
Sake, yes. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, so they asked him about Prague, which I was like on the edge of my seat. I was like, oh my gosh, Prague. He talked about falling in love and it not working. So I was like,
and then he talks about his other history of dating, which we haven't really heard a lot of. I mean, we've assumed because he said that he's had girlfriends, but he said he's had about 5 or 6. He meets them almost all on dating apps, and one of them works at McDonald's. I don't know if he actually drove through the drive-thru and asked her to see the rock collection, but I thought that it was a nice, he could have, yeah. I thought it was a nice in to change the subject as well, which I think he very much wanted to do.
Yeah, I very much believe he was driving through that drive-thru every day and wearing her down.
Probably. But, you know, I think this is where we also saw Joe show up as a good friend, because I could just see myself, if I knew that the guy that you were dating had just recently traveled or done a similar thing in the way that he met you and it didn't work out, that would be the first thing I would want to know about. Like, what happened then? Give me the deets. Tell me the tea.
Yeah.
So I think that she's a good friend, even though it's not been, you know, a long-term thing.
I do think there's a huge difference between Michaela and Amber, though. I think Amber's kind of slowly letting, you know, whatever. And Michaela just seemed to just be there. Like, she was like, you know, she had her moments where things were fun or whatever. But I kind of just think she wasn't as into Harold as Harold was into her. And
I totally agree.
I don't think she was very upfront with that. I just think maybe she liked being on camera or, you know, whatever. I mean, she went up to his room and she was very awkward and herself.
I know, she was awkward. I think that Amber is more of a social leader, but she allows Harold to take the lead. I think that that's a really good dynamic. You're right. Michaela was just like arm candy sort of.
Yeah, she was just there, tall, lanky. Kind of reminded me of like Goofy a little bit.
Yes. But yeah, so it's hard to tell how the meeting is going at first, because we do see a little snippet of a confessional with Joe, and she's talking about how he's really anxious, and because he's so anxious, she's wondering if he might be a serial killer.
Well, that's my thoughts about Tony.
True. I wish that Joe would meet Tony, actually. She seems like she would do a good job of telling him how dumb he is.
He wouldn't take her seriously. She's got short hair.
That's so true. So true.
So, anyways. Why now? Why now?
Because of this. When she's talking
chemistry.
She's talking about Prague. And,
no, Cheesy. They were talking about Cheesy.
Yes, Cheesy. I'm sorry. Yes, when they were talking about Cheesy, the first girl that Harold dated, they asked, you know, what was the issue with her, and he said she didn't check all the boxes, but there was also just no chemistry. And of course, you know, we have to go back to our girl that just
nothing.
There is no chemistry here.
Nothing. The shrimp didn't even like each other. The cats weren't even coming around.
The shrimp wasn't even getting along.
But it sounds like he did really well in this little interrogation that he went through.
Yeah,
They
he
did
was
talk.
getting
Oh, they did.
frustrated at first.
Yeah, he was getting frustrated with all the like questions, I think, but they did end up talking about his autism,
Mhm.
and I think from
We'll
there
get into
things just
that
went
in a
really
second.
well.
That did go well. I think that
Mhm,
opened up some um insight into how Amber is seeing it too, which is the most
mhm.
important thing. But yes, we're gonna have to wait and see how Harold's meeting goes because right now they're trying to trick us like it's going badly, but spoiler alert, it's going well
As usual.
as usual because Harold is a class act.
But we're gonna go to some place where it's probably not gonna go very well.
Of course, it's not. We're following Tony.
Yes.
So we
Um,
see the beautiful Thais.
who looks a lot
Um,
like Louisa.
She does look like Louisa, a little bit more light, flowy hair, but definitely resembles her quite a bit. And Tony's impressed. He said that he really likes the way that she was dressed, and he didn't even realize how short her hair was. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean,
So true.
um, I wonder if he noticed her tooth then too, because I got some thoughts when we get over there. But
I also wonder that. But yeah, we start the date off. Louisa sent them to, I think she called it Batman Alley. And I guess there's a lot of art around there and street art and stuff like that. So they're at a graffiti place. And it seems like they're going to draw up these sketches and then put them on the wall with spray paint.
yeah,
Sounds like a fun date.
I don't know if I'd want to be spray painting in them clothes she got on, but I feel it.
Yeah, very true. So a girl with short hair looked like she took care of herself. I mean,
Honestly.
at first, but as we'll see, we
Well,
find
then
out.
then it looked like she took a little too much care of herself, Joe.
That's like right, like now you're flashy. Yeah, I just oh my god.
Now you just flashy.
Yeah, so let's just get to the real meat of things. I mean, they do their little drawing. He says he thinks that she's cute at first. He likes her skin tone.
Milky soft.
They get to talking. She asks him why he likes pigs so much. Because I guess he's drawing a pig. And I had no idea that he was actually invested like this into the animal of pigs. But he had a lot of trivia about it.
Probably because they're bald and misunderstood.
They have no fluffy hair.
They don't. I mean, some do, but the ones he's drawing are like the bald ones. I
True.
think he's got a preference there.
That's
So
true.
then everything starts going to crap. She asks more about animals, and then she asks if he likes dogs, and he lies and says yes. And she says she's got
You
a Shih
don't like
Tzu.
dogs.
You don't like dogs, sir. She says she's got a Shih Tzu and a pit bull, and he's just like, oh, okay. First red flag for him. But I think he was willing to kind of look past that until,
You?
yeah, because he really wasn't saying what he was saying to the other girl, like, oh, do you sleep in bed with them? Like, blah, blah. I think he was willing to like ignore
Because
it
she
for a
already
little
said
bit.
she's attached. As soon as she said, I'm very attached to them, that man pursed his lips and changed his tone. And she picked up on it right away. She's like, I don't
Yeah.
think he likes dogs.
But I think it went completely downhill when they asked like what they're into, and she said, I want somebody who's trustworthy and honest and whatever. And then he's like, well, that's what everybody wants. Like, what do you really want? And she says, hair, which this man just decided to
Yeah.
come at her at that point. He said,
Yeah.
you want hair? I want a girl without gold and diamonds in her teeth.
You know what was even more maniacal? Because I think you're trying to say like he decided to switch up once his feelings were hurt, and I think you're exactly right.
Yeah.
But I think what was even more maniacal was he convinced her. He said, "No, go deeper. Tell me, one of the things that you really do want. My feelings won't be hurt." He assured her that explicitly. My feelings will not be hurt. She shares that she wants hair. And then she says, okay, I opened up. I did something scary. I told you something that made me feel scared. What do you want? Tell me what you want. And this man stops and says, well, before I share, anything about my damn self, before I take one step towards being vulnerable, I'd like to ask you, are you flashy? Sir, like, I cannot, the maniacal, manipulative behavior of turning everything back onto somebody else. I have a problem with you. You're the problem. You like dogs and have a diamond in your tooth. Would you rather her have a grill? Is that what he was saying? Because I couldn't understand the comparison to rappers and grills and just one diamond. Would you rather her just have a grill so that you know what it is? Is that the problem? You just don't understand how where does one go to get a diamond in their teeth? Like, he can't wrap his head around it. It's insane.
I mean, the shine coming from her tooth. Yeah, I didn't even notice it, honestly. But the shine,
that's how small it is. Do you see that little white pixel?
Yeah.
That's the effing diamond in her tooth. Are you serious? Cute. It's super cute. I didn't even know you could do that. I would
you can, yeah. I've seen it before on a couple other people. But
it's cute.
You know, he's sitting here acting like that damn shine from her mouth is anything compared to the shine from his bald ass head.
Top of his head. I bet you can see it from the airplanes up in space.
Yeah. I've been like, are you flashy, sir? Because I see you got some fake follicles in your hair. I'm sure that costs more than my diamond tooth.
Right. If this woman did not call him out on his tattooed head. Yeah. I'm speechless.
And then he becomes so distracted by the diamond in her tooth. He just doesn't want to admit his feelings got hurt because she wants a man with hair. Newsflash, dude, a lot of women do prefer a man with some hair. I mean, it's just the genetics.
Right. And how does it feel to get a taste of your own medicine, that you're going to get rejected for something that's so ridiculous that isn't now? Do you feel your feelings are hurt now because somebody said that you're not good enough because of your external appearance?
Yeah. And Louisa did say she's putting him on a date with somebody who's picky as well. So
good. Yeah. I hope she made apart. I hope she did off camera, because, you know, we really only see him kind of go in on her, but she got up real quick and left after the diamond comment. She said, "It's time for me to go."
She says, "I'm getting tired," and it was like still daylight.
It looked like it was 5 p.m.
Yeah, it looked like it was just switching from like maybe 4 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
It's starting to get a little bit darker, but
yeah, like the evening is upon us, but not even like late evening.
Mm-hmm.
His feelings were so hurt. So hurt. What a little baby that man is. I can't wait to watch him get fired by Louisa.
He can sit here and nitpick women all day long, but something that we all know, that women do like men with hair. I mean, not everybody, but it is kind of a preference for a lot of women, the same way that he likes women with long hair because it means they take care of themselves. They got childbirthing hips, whatever the fuck. We also like to see hair on a man because, I mean, if you're thinking about procreating, you're kind of like, well, I mean, if he's got hair, then my kid's got a chance of keeping their hair, you know, like same thing.
But I think even without that, it's like she might have been open to having, you know, a relationship with him if he wasn't like also an awful human.
She was down for his muscles.
Yeah, she was open. I mean, in her confessional, I didn't take any pictures of that, but before things went left, she commented that she does like hair more, but that she thought he had good muscles, and she was open to seeing where things went. So I think when you have, you know, an ideal physical standard, it's important for that to be flexible like that. Like, you can be open to, well, if he doesn't have everything I want, he has 60% of what I want, or 80 or whatever, and that's okay. But not this man. This man has a list, and you jump outside of that little box or that little list, and, you know, God forbid, put a diamond in your tooth. He's gonna have to put that on his list. I
just want to see him go on a date with a girl that checks every single damn box, and then see how he fumbles it that way, because he'll find a way.
Oh, he'll fumble it. Well, I think he would just fumble it. I mean, think of the girl that he's looking for. You think she's looking for him? I don't think she's looking for him. I think he'll fumble it just by existing.
Touche.
Anyways, you're dismissed, Tony.
We're done with you. You're fired.
Fine.
Anyways,
we're waking up in Ireland now. with a stallion, and this stallion's name is Keavan.
Yeah, they're all cuddled up. It looks like she's got like one of those lights on the top of her head, but I know that's not what that is.
I think it's the tie to her bonnet. But you're right.
Okay.
I didn't even see it that way. That is so
Oh,
funny.
okay, that is the
Like one
tie.
of those cave explorers.
Just so she could see him in the night.
She does love to look at him.
She does. But
I
this
like
is
to
the
look at
only
him too.
scene I think we get of them. I thought this was randomly in here and just strange because we don't even get the rest of their weekend exactly. We just get this and then like another weird scene where they're doing a challenge. But that's it.
I completely agree. I feel like we did not get enough of this weekend romantic getaway. I'm guessing probably because Keavan is a little boring and there's probably just not a lot to watch unless they're doing an activity,
Yeah.
which can be a good sign. But I did feel disappointed. I was really excited to see this romantic getaway in a castle. And yeah, we saw them have lunch or dinner or something last episode on the ground in their room. And then they wake up in their hotel and now they're gonna go do archery. And after that, it seems like they're gonna be out of here. So
Pretty much. And
they do
Keevan
like
does
some
make her a
wagers,
little wager. Yep. He
which he
says,
loses.
yeah, he says, if I win, you're done dating anybody else. And I'm like, Keevan, you haven't even put in the work in for her to actually commit to that, even if you do win.
I was surprised that she said okay. I think she was just praying for that man to lose because he was gonna make a liar out of her. She's gonna go see what's up with Glenn.
She is, because she's been thinking about Glenn, even though she's with Keevan. And it was the
Yeah,
opposite when she was with Glenn at first. So,
yeah.
yeah, I mean, I'm just not that impressed with Keevan. I know they didn't hook up or anything, but it still doesn't feel like he's kind of just blah. And
I
someone
mean,
like Amber, yeah, that might be a good balance, but it's also a little too blah.
yeah, I'm still holding on to hope for Keavan. I do like their little conversation that they're, about to have on this bench about the future and things like that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I know her not hooking up with him was a conscious decision, because she wants to be clear-headed. So I actually think that that's really smart. But I think with somebody like Keavan, you kind of have to light the fire a little bit, like there's
Spread the
got to be
legs.
an infusion of passion somewhere. So, like, Glenn is just a passionate individual, and so is Amber, and so I think it's just easy for them to feel that in that way. But for
Yeah.
these, it is so calm and so chill. I think they need to like light a spark.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, she tries with all that kissing and stuff, but that's kind of as far as
And
it
they
gets.
look like they're enjoying, his little pillow lips or whatever. But
Yeah.
anyways, so they
Yeah.
do talk about what it would be like to live long distance, and Keaton actually brings up this conversation, which I was flabbergasted by. So I
Mhm.
guess he is really trying to show by the wager that he made and the questions that he's asking that he is interested, which leaves me hanging on and also leaves Amber hanging on. So we're just
Mhm.
hopeless romantics in that way, I guess. But they both don't have any experience in dating this far apart. So then they start to explore options too of where they might want to live together. And Amber says that she's open really to living anywhere. And Keevan seemed open to that too. He said he's been considering going to Canada. I guess Canada and Ireland are besties and they like to give visas away to each other. So
Well, the Commonwealth.
the Commonwealth, yeah.
Just
Even is nice but boring, but Glenn is a little much for me. I think that is just exactly the sentence that sums up Amber's
all of
struggle.
it.
Yeah,
Mhm. All of
totally.
it. I do
Where
think I need to see this like date with Glenn again so I can, feel him out a little more. But
for
yeah, I
sure.
do think it was much to bring her to meet his parent. I mean, Katarina had a whole heart attack about it.
True.
So
And spoiler alert, in like 2 episodes, I just read the info for 2 episodes from now, and Amber and Victoria are going to go on a double date together, which is so cute. Can't wait to see that. But I wonder who Amber takes.
ooh, yeah, is it
Is
Keevan or
she
is
going
it
to take
Glenn?
Ethan or Glenn?
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
I know. I hope that she takes Keavan.
I kind of hope she takes. I feel like she might take Glenn just because he's so like out there, and I think she's trying to like because
Yeah, and he's more of a take out in public and socialize kind of guy if you want to have a good time. But I do hope that she takes Keavan because I think she's really considering him more seriously, Keavan. And Glenn is just kind of this entertaining person. So I think if she's trying to test things, she should take Keavan, but it would be more fun to take Glenn. Totally.
I'm here for it.
Yes. So Amber's finally happy to be hearing Keavan's heart's desires, which she was after last night, but could not break through the wall. So finally he's telling her that he'd be open to moving, maybe going to Canada. They both seem okay with that. But yet, yes, Glenn is just persistent in the back of her mind, will not go away.
Yes. Joe says, do they both get stood up?
Maybe because we see Amber in her little explosive moment. So possible.
I would love it if they both got stood up on the same date. That'd be crazy to watch.
You know what, though? That's actually quite the theory because what the thing says word for word is after a double date, Amber and Victoria question their relationships. So I wonder if it was a failed double date. They just ended up on a date with them Cheos.
I'm here for it. I'm kind of wishing it was next episode instead of 2 episodes from now.
I know. Me too. I want to see that. I want to get to the parts that they teased us about almost 2 months ago. I'm getting a little impatient here.
They showed it way too early. They should have just saved it to themselves.
It's good.
The drama.
I'm on the edge of my seat. So back to Harold, speaking of drama, and things do sort of come around for his meet and greet with Joe, which is great.
Yeah, he talked about how Amber checked all of his boxes, and Amber gets a little teased about that from Joe. And then he does bring up their sneaky kiss.
That is, to me, I think what turned everything around for Joe. I think Joe and her, as a friend, I think she wasn't quite sure how Amber was feeling. And so she didn't, she was kind of erring on the side of a negative. But as soon as she realized that they kissed and then she didn't know about it, she said that she thought that that meant that maybe Amber was being shy and that could mean that she actually does really like this guy. And it seems like right after that, it was just all positive things coming from Joe.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's where that that oh crap moment came from.
Yes.
Which
so
they love to trick us. That's why I don't believe half of what I see in these previews, you guys. They'd be cutting and splicing and whatever.
I know. Watch Victoria not even get stood up. Watch that just be a whole
Amber or something. Or like just they're both mad about the same thing.
Yes, and I'm gonna send a nastily worded email from the Chick Chat account if that's true.
I don't blame you.
You're gonna be co-signing it.
CC. I'll be CC'd.
So they do get to talking about the spectrum. Joe brings up questions about that, and he gives a typical response. He says that it's something that he struggled with as a kid, and he kind of had to carry around a list of things not to say. And they all relate to that, everybody puts their foot in their mouth from time to time. And so I think that they could use that to relate to. Obviously for Harold, it was, a lot more intense than that. And he had to, I'm sure he probably did have to carry a list around. Don't.
A literal list.
Yeah. But I thought what was super cute and endearing about Amber was that she turned around and looked at Joe and said that first she kind of normalized it completely. She said, well, a lot of guys in Singapore are really socially awkward. So that's not something that bothers me at all. I'm pretty much used to that anyways. And then she said that she thought that autism was another word for super smart people. And I thought that was just cute that's the way that she's looking at it, because a lot of people who are on the spectrum do have, a high IQ or at least have like special interests that they're really, they can be an expert in. Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, there's still that, spectrum of it, but like when you're on that higher end, like Harold is, You are ridiculous. I mean, he's a radiation tech or whatever. That's not, you have to be smart to do those kinds of things.
Yeah. And, you know, I think you kind of, sometimes like intelligence, I sort of have this belief that like that's on a spectrum as well. It's like intelligence in your brain and like social intelligence. And they kind of work on the other side. Like there are a lot of people who are very socially intelligent. Think of like Paris Hilton, for example, who could never be a radiation tech, right? But she's very like smart when it comes to how to use her social capital, right? But then there's Harold, who could never fathom being Paris Hilton. I don't know if those are great, you know, comparisons, but definitely illustrations of the poles.
Here we go. There you go. Check that. There's our.
Won't say I didn't ever give you a nice illustration.
We're kind of middle of the spectrum, if you can't tell.
Girl, I'm the end of the road. I'm just like,
we're on our own spectrum. But anyways, this date went really, really well. And now Harold has someone else on his side. So.
Well, we miss him with those pictures.
And he came out of it, as Harold said, unscathed.
Yes. I also thought that it was really cute right at the end of this, right before he kind of recognized, like, okay, I came out of this on top. Things are going well. Joe listed all these really good qualities about Harold right in front of Harold at the table. She said that she thinks that he's got a good sense of humor, that his thing is that he just hasn't met the right girl yet. And she relates that to Amber, like you guys have that in common. She says he's a good guy. She can tell that Harold is into her, and that they could make it work and that he would be good for her. What a great advocate.
A great advocate. Not only was Harold nervous about this, it could have went either way, but he turned this woman so fast on his side. Now he's just got to hit all these other obstacles and have the same effect.
Yes.
Which may be harder with her parents, I'm not going to lie.
It's going to definitely be harder, but I think he went through, you know, that frustrated period too of the way he put it was he can't always say everything he wants. Like his responses, you know, have to be real quick because there's another question coming. And I think it was good for him to get practice doing that in this setting with Amber. For meeting more important people. I don't know if we're going to see anyone else, though, any more meetings with anyone else, but
probably not after you kind of go.
Harold is considering extending his stay, which Dolly looked thrilled about.
She did not, but but I don't think we'll be meeting her family because I think her family lives in China, if I remember right. The first date.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if that was her or Cheesy that we heard more about her family, but I'm guessing it probably was her. Yeah.
Yeah, Cheesy wasn't giving Harold nothing. Nothing. No chemistry.
No chemistry here.
Well, moving over. Oh, nothing. Moving over to, is it Sarah's date now? Another meet and greet, another obstacle for our contestants.
Yes, for EJ. I thought it was funny that she's like, I rushed to get this meet and greet together because my mom just has to meet EJ before he leaves for his little bodybuilding trip, which is true. If you brought your mom all the way over here and you're feeling serious about somebody, I can appreciate wanting to do that. But I just thought it was funny that she called it a meet and greet, like they're all some kinds of celebrities.
Yeah, like she's at a Comic-Con or something. They're doing meet and greets. And she's even matching her mom as they walk in. So.
They're so cute. I think they're the best. I love to kind of make fun of them, but it comes from love. I think they're so cute.
Yes, and that dress makes her tatas look ginormous.
She is, just looking like an Oscar or something. You know,
like how Oscar Barbie. Yeah. Oscar Bobby.
So Kitty is there to suss out any red flags and try to see if those rose-colored glasses of love and attraction are working too hard right now. So Kit comes in with the firing of the questions.
Yeah, but EJ shows up with flowers. He's already on top of it. I mean, his both of his parents are gone. So it's interesting how much he's showing up right now. Like he knows what to do. He's met a mom or two, it seems. He showed up with
He
the
definitely
flowers.
did. I mean, he's had a mother-in-law before too. So maybe he has some ideas around that too. But you're right. I mean, he doesn't have his parents anymore, and he showed up great. And Kitty was impressed. She said, he brought the flowers, he was masculine, he presents himself well.
He's a man.
So, he's a man. Look at this man. He's
a whole man. I mean, his ankles are
showing. The ankles showing. I think a real man loves to show his ankles. That means he's not insecure.
I mean, then we had Shane Jensen on Love is Blind season 2. He liked to show a lot of ankle.
In some ways that man is also a man. I mean, there's different types of men. Different types of men,
I guess.
But he's not a good man like EJ.
Yeah, EJ is winning them all over. So he gave her great answers. In fact, they did on the preview, they made it seem like this went horribly, but no. In fact, I didn't even see the part where Sarah says, "Oh, I didn't know that," or whatever. Like, did they just?
So they took her reaction to him saying that he's not going on his bodybuilding competition and put that in with my last relationship ended a month and a half ago. But it was really happened like a minute later.
Editors. It's like they're the teen mom people over there or something when it comes to editing the previews.
But at the same time, I mean, that is what I feel like we talk about a lot is the previews because they do get us going, even though we know not to get too excited. I'm still really excited about getting stood up, about Amber, about all this stuff. I mean, if this stuff is fake, I'm telling you, Chick Chat will be sending
It's provocative. It gets the people going.
It does get the people going. My blood pressure is going.
But he had the best answers, even for being in a relationship only a month and a half ago, which I think normally would be a pretty big red flag.
I think it still is.
I mean, he had a good answer.
He's allowed to have one flag.
The thing is he's a little bit older too. So, like, I mean, what's he supposed to do? Wait a year to date somebody? I mean, the man's probably nearing 50 or
right. And it's not like he got divorced a month and a half ago. He just was dating somebody. I would have liked to hear more about why it ended because it sounded like
how long it was.
Yeah.
Because they could have only dated a couple months. Like, who's to know?
Right. Yes. But it does sound like he thought after this relationship ended for some reason that he really needs to give himself a chance at love. So I don't know if that's because he wasn't getting a chance at love before, even though he was dating. I don't know.
Maybe he's just been casually dating since his divorce. I hear a lot of people do that. Like they don't really take this seriously anymore after they did divorce.
I like that idea. I'm going to go with that.
Possible.
You cracked the code.
But he is actually working with Dolly. So that makes me wonder if some of these guys are working with her and then some of them are in like a dating pool. Like we keep trying to figure this out. I wish they put out a little guide.
I know. Me too. Like this is Dolly approved or Dolly not approved because you can see the caliber here of Dolly approved.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think what's his name was Dolly approved. It sounds like Dolly had 2 conversations with Sean. Maybe.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But and same thing with that other artist guy. I don't think he could like afford a matchmaker. I don't know.
True.
Because like I feel like they'd be paying a pretty penny for this service.
Yeah, I feel like Dolly probably finds, some guys on social media just like everyone else does. Just, obviously when you're dating abroad. Yeah, just do a little swipey swipe.
Swiping.
But probably more so like Instagram or I don't know where the kids find people these days. I've been out of the gate for a whole decade.
True. But he does tell Sarah and her mom that he decided that he's going to skip the competition because there are going to be all kinds of competitions in the future and only one Sarah right now. And she's got limited time. That was very sweet because I know that was something that Sarah was stressing out about in the confessional. She was like, I don't know how I feel about this man actually going.
Right. Yeah, she said that she wasn't sure if he was actually serious about finding love. And I get that. I also would never ask someone to cancel something that was obviously already pre-planned like this and probably had a lot of work and preparation go into it. But I think it was a really, really sweet gesture, and more than a gesture for him to cancel it and have him just say, it's something I thought about and I'm not going to be able to get this time back. And he is right about that. And Sarah's perspective is correct. If they can't make this little spark and figure out how they're going to make things work, which they're certainly not going to do in one day when he returns, they probably aren't going to work out. So if you do really want to have a future, or you even just see a possibility of that, it's probably a good idea to spend more time.
Agreed. I think he made the right decision. I was proud of him.
Yeah,
and then he did it on his own without her even like being like, "I wish you were staying."
Right, which I thought too was a like a very manly thing to do. Like I've thought about it and I've made, a decision, and I'm capable of changing my mind and like, taking in what the situation needs and doing what the situation needs. I think that that's awesome, actually. So
and I think really that impressed Mom as well.
Totally. And, Sarah, she says what we all know all along. She says, I just really love to feel special. And you made me feel special.
She's so excited.
She is.
She did say she thought her man was around the corner. And I do have high hopes for her and EJ now. I do think he's a really good guy for her. I think he's a good balance. I also think he's very accepting of her. And I was worried about her for a minute. I was like, man, this girl ain't going to find no one out here just because, she's got these high standards, and the guys that have the same standards are a little bit insane. So I'm just glad that we got EJ out of this. In fact, I'm kind of like, Jolly, why don't you just do this to begin with?
Because I do think, like some of the other matchmakers, Dolly really wanted to put her kind of through the paces a little bit too and wear her down. I think if she came in and saw EJ first and foremost, I think she would be wanting to see what else is better out there.
True. And now she's just thankful.
Yes. Yeah. Now she's tired and the right guy is coming along.
Yeah.
Well, but she is looking forward to a kiss, which I hope to see.
We'll see it. It'll happen. But in Singapore, they do move ridiculously slow. So maybe she'll have to do a sneaky kiss like Harold. She might have to take some notes.
That would be a good idea. Yeah. I mean, she is the one that likes to objectify him. So maybe she will.
She does love a good objectification. But another angry person.
I've never seen Louisa so angry. She wore her red suit, painted her nails red, painted red all over her lips so that she could stomp into that coffee shop and just agitate her feet.
It was like The Apprentice in there. She's like, "You're fired." Honestly.
I know. She even brought her shoulder pads. I mean, look at these squares.
Are we like waiting for Tony to walk in this coffee shop so she can fire him? Is that the setup right here?
Yes. And I'm pretty sure because they showed her walking in the front. And there were people in this coffee shop when she walked in, and then all the people had to leave. Like you could see
it right out.
Away. And I'm pretty sure she's just sitting right in front of the door, like right when you walk in, just hands clasped, foot going.
She's ready. She's ready to fire him. She's waiting. They do show us a little, I don't think it was a message or a phone call from Thais, who said that, she had it started okay, but then she was getting sick of like having to carry the conversation. And then he seemed a little bit judgmental and like he's got physical standards and that he doesn't like different people. Well,
she said it was the worst day she's ever had.
I don't blame her.
I don't either. I would have walked away feeling that way too with Tony.
If I went on a date with that man, I would feel the same exact way. Even if I met everything on his list, I just feel like it would be a horrible date.
Yes. So Louisa, right? She has had it all the way up to the damn ceiling with Tony. She let us know last time that she had one more woman for Tony, and she wasn't lying. She is coming to this coffee shop with the intent of firing this man. She said that she has introduced Tony to so many women, and Ann and I were talking about this before we started filming, but we've seen him meet at least 5 women, because he met 3 at the speed dating thing, which I know weren't dates, but he met these women and rejected them. And then he went on 2 other dates. So, and Ann and I are suspicious that they're dating, outside of what's being filmed too, which I'm sure is true. So at minimum, this man has met 7, 8, 9, 10 plus women.
Probably a dozen. That's what I think.
Probably a dozen.
At least.
And he saw a problem in each of them. And so Louisa has had it. She said, he's the problem. He's the flawed one. He's the one who has trauma, and he needs help that I cannot give to him.
Mic drop, Louisa, because you are absolutely right. This man needs a therapist and maybe a lobotomy or something.
He needs all of it. He needs to go to Turkey too. If you're really that insecure about your hair, just bite the bullet, man. You're already halfway there. Just jump on a train or a plane or whatever's going to get you there.
I mean, shoot, yeah. And so these damn hair follicles you tattooed on yourself to make it look like you have a hairline coming in. Like, you're not fooling anyone. Not fooling anyone. It's just I don't know, the way this man is so nitpicky, and like Louisa says, she's not going to subject anyone else to this trauma, because he's saying they're all traumatized or whatever, but he's the one traumatizing them. He's nitpicking them. He's making them feel insecure. He's making them, like, he's things that people don't care about, like having a dog. He turns into a vicious thing. Like, oh my God, how horrible to love and have an animal.
I know. And it's the thing about it that really gets me is that he acts as if because a woman loves a dog that she's incapable of loving a baby. And I don't know. I'm not an expert in all of it, but it's like, I feel like if you love and are attached to a dog, then that probably means you're capable of loving a baby human.
I'm pregnant right now, guys. I got 2 dogs. Like, you think I'm just going to push this baby out and be like, forget you.
Yeah, give me the dogs.
Just the dogs. I'm leaving this baby at the fire station.
In fact, it mostly works the other way around. I mean, the dogs that don't have humans in the house usually have a hard adjustment to not being the only baby, but they have to adjust because they're dogs.
They do, though. They usually
a baby infant.
Yeah, it just shows that you can care for a living thing and keep it alive, I think. Just like with a human baby.
Exactly. That you can put something above yourself, that you can make sacrifices, that you can, plan for things. And yes, I think it shows a level of responsibility.
You can afford it too, because dogs get expensive. I mean, they don't got health insurance that pays anything. I mean, I've tried it before. It didn't really do nothing. So babies at least get health insurance. I mean, shit.
At least. I mean, geez. And like,
they're also expensive as hell, but
true.
It just, that's like a stepping stone. Like, you got a dog that you're attached to. I mean, that means that you can love something.
I agree, but that's not how Tony feels.
He's insane, though.
Yeah, he is insane. I can't wait to see Louisa fire this man. It's going to be one of my favorite things I think I've ever watched on this show.
And they're going to keep it till the end.
I know. We're not going to see him next episode. I don't even know if we're going to see him the episode after that, because my suspicion is that the next 2 episodes at least are not the finale. I don't know when the finale is. I don't know how many episodes are set for this season. But I don't think the next 2 will be, because why would they end on a double date that leaves people questioning their relationship? There's definitely another episode after that. So there's at least 3 episodes.
Yeah, and I think he's going to be like in the last episode, because they went like 2 or 3 episodes just now without Tony. Like Joe's been asking week to week where Tony is. And like,
you're gonna wait another 2 weeks, I think, Joe.
Another few weeks, honestly. 2 to 3.
2 to 3 at least.
It might be October by the time we see
it. It very well might be October, but you know what? We'll be here either way. I am here. I'm on the edge of my seat for this drama. I want to know what the heck is going to go on, with all of these people, but especially with this double date, especially with someone getting stood up. I want to see this guy get fired. I'm actually really pleased so far with this season.
I mean, he's going to blow up on Louisa. Like, well, I'm paying you, blah, blah, blah. I wonder also going there to fire her too, because he also said,
definitely.
I'm not happy with Louisa. Like
Yeah.
her setting you up on perfectly fine dates is the problem. It's the fact that you can't get through them without being.
Yeah, which is exactly why this man is not going to get a single one of his cents or pennies back. It's not going to happen.
I wouldn't. I think he must sign a contract. It's not
absolutely. Yeah, this does not guarantee that you fall in love. You get.
I just hope, I think this is wishful thinking, but maybe Tony, if you're watching the show and you can see how you look to women and society in general, that you might take a couple, looks in the mirror. It's not hard.
Because I have long hair, so I qualify. Yeah. And you're doing it wrong.
You're doing it completely wrong.
Yeah.
Nobody is going to want to put up with that. So I think that this would be a good time for reflection and to be like, you know what? I was silly. I just
time for a therapist, Tony. Great time for therapy.
I bet he judges his therapist. He walks in there and he's like, "Oh, my therapist doesn't have long hair."
I swear, it better. He needs a man therapist, or he's going to be caught up in the games that he plays with this rejection stuff.
He loves himself good man ideology.
He does. He needs a man therapist who he thinks is part of the manosphere, and then switches over and is like, "Actually, you crazy."
Yeah, I wonder if we're going to see him next season work with a man matchmaker. I'd love to see him work with Juan.
I'd love to see Juan. I need to see him with Juan, but I don't know if he's going to go back to Brazil. I think he's probably going to be banned from there.
No, he went to Juan was in Colombia, I think. It was a different country.
Oh, that'd be perfect for Tony. He needs a Colombian woman. Slap her around.
I don't think that that's appropriate, but I don't think that that's how that works out in Colombia either.
Well, that's what I'm thinking of, like, in the movie Blow, the lady that Penelope Cruz plays, that lady's a Colombian, and she likes to slap around Joe.
Oh, she needs to slap him, yeah. I think like he needs somebody, I think he would need like a strong personality to put him in his place, but I think he's looking for somebody like super submissive or something. Just like that one weird passport bro was. He was looking for like submission.
Yeah, he was. I think he should have stuck with that real young girl. I think she would have done anything for him.
Till her brain formulated enough. That lady's brain wasn't even fully developed yet.
I think she was 22. Yeah. Anyways, I think I haven't gone over next time yet, so I'll run through that, and then we will be on our way. If you're interested in watching Jersey Shore, which Ann and I are going to be covering in, I don't know, probably a couple minutes here, then stick around. But we have Harold next episode, of course, because we can never miss more than one episode of Harold, and he lets Dolly know that he wants to extend his stay. And she looks devastated. She looks sad. So I'm hoping it's one of those things where it's her face in response to something else, and maybe she is excited. But girl, if he's going to pay you, then what's the problem?
Maybe that is the problem, is that by that point he doesn't need the matchmaker.
He doesn't even need to pay her anymore. Yeah, and now she's probably just still has to answer his text messages. So
yeah, for free.
Anyways, yes, for the frizzle. So Dolly is again encouraging Harold to remember to take things slow, that Amber is still really making up her mind for things. So.
I can see why he's so frustrated, because like that gets confusing. She took him to meet the friend. She could have like kept it slow at that point, but like, you know what, that's a little fast for me. I'm not really sure if we're going to be whatever. Like, she's not saying any of this to Harold. She's using Dolly as like a mediator. And I think she needs to have the conversation with Harold, like she had with us. I think things get a little pushy sometimes. Like, what? She's not saying any of that to Harold to help him correct the situation. The man has told you he has autism. You need to be blunt with him. You need to be direct with him. Tell him exactly what you're looking for and what you need. If what you're looking for and what you need is for things to be slow, then tell him, like, I need things to be a little slower. I appreciate that you're on a timeline, and I can respect that, you want things to move a little bit faster. and I am very interested in you, but I just need a little bit more time, and I need, like, we don't move that fast over here. So I think he
Yeah.
would respect that, but I think Harold gets a little excited by all these like mixed signals.
Well, that's why I think, like, I do see where she feels like Harold is kind of being pushy too. I think she needs to be really more direct with him about the pace that she wants, because she did say, like, you have to meet all these people, but then she's kind of pumping the brakes on meeting people. So I get that, but I also, I just feel like, I don't know, Amber is just, she shows up and acts like everything is going well and whatever, and the problem with Harold is his next step always is put a ring on your finger. And so it's like she kind of doesn't have any wiggle room to say I like you, because if she says I like you, then he's like, okay, then we're married. So it's like it's hard. I think that's where some of her wishy-washiness is coming from, because it's like the second that she's like, okay, this is good, I want to commit, then it's like, we're married now. So it's just,
Right.
it's a big commitment.
Well, I think someone needs to sit with Harold and like plan out those steps with him. Like, he now knows that the steps is friend, parents, whatever. But if she said, my first steps is that I like you, and then maybe we'll get into a relationship, and then maybe after, like kind of put out that timeline for him. Because he is kind of jumping around to conclusions, but also he doesn't have the, I want to say, cognizant for like social stuff. Like, he probably just assumes, I'm in my 40s, she's in her late 30s. Like, it would be a good time. I don't want to be a 70-year-old dad like my dad. Like, I just think that he's looking at it from a different perspective. But I think if people were more direct with him, like she said in her first date with Harold, I want you to be more direct. So since then, he's been very direct. Which makes it seem like he's also a little bit forward or a little bit moving too fast, but he's just going off of what was told to him. So I think if something else was told to him, it would make things better. He might get a little frustrated because he's like, well, I don't understand like what's happening now. But I think he gets more frustrated that he's hearing it from Dolly and not from Amber, just like with the autism thing.
Yes, I think Harold has unrealistic expectations about what's going to happen when he leaves.
Oh, yeah.
There's nobody else on the show who wants to be engaged by the time they leave. So
I mean, they're all looking for their forever, but they know that it's going to take a while.
That it still takes time, even though the trip that you're on is short, and there is still more pressure, that it's not more pressure to do the whole thing. Like,
and I do think he's carrying some kind of like almost PTSD from Michaela, like that. Oh, when I went home, like we didn't talk. So I think he's just very worried about that. Yeah,
I agree, but I think Amber is different from Michaela. He needs to also have some courage himself to go home and let this thing play out. But he's scared. You're right. Yeah,
I'm scared.
Yes. I'm scared for him, man. I like all the couples that are forming up. I even really like Amber and Keavan and Amber and Glenn. Like, I'd be happy with either choice. Although I do prefer Keavan, I think. But yeah, I'm happy with all of these. I don't know what the hell Monica's going to do.
Yeah, we're going to see. Monica has to make a choice.
I didn't even finish the preview. We just were talking about Harold. So we're also going to see Amber go on another date with Glenn. And it's very clear that Glenn is sure. It's very clear that Amber still is not yet sure. We're also going to see another Sarah and EJ date. I think they're going to go fishing. They're also going to talk a little bit about their future. And he shares that in his ideal world that it would be 2 years before they have kids. But I think the sentence after that is him saying, but I recognize that might not work for you, so we can talk. And then we're going to see at least the beginning. I think probably the beginning, because they always like to put, the explosive stuff at the end. We're going to see Bruno and Bernardo meet Monica in the same place with Louisa for decision time. And Louisa tells Monica that it is her job to help her make this decision. But I feel like, is it your job to help her make this decision? Because that's different than you literally bringing two men face to face at like basically a table for you all to sit at and decide who's going to walk away with this woman once and for all. That's a little much.
I mean, I'm on the fence about this, because if somebody doesn't make her do this, and she'll never decide, she'll just keep both of them on a string. So I get the sentiment of what Louisa's doing. And after dealing with Tony at the same time, I think she's just like, you know what, Monica, you have to make a decision here.
Louisa's done with Americans. She's never going to matchmake for an American again. And I just don't even blame her.
Yeah, I mean, Monica was easier for her. She only really had to set her up on 2 dates, but I do think it's a disservice for Monica to not go on more dates too. I really wish I would have seen her go on other dates with maybe people she didn't like, because you can't fall in love with everybody.
Right.
So I just think she should have been on more dates as well. And they just kind of left it
Mhm.
at these two. And honestly, I don't even think they're two of the best guys. I mean, obviously Bernardo's standing her up and kind of's got a duh look on his face all the time. And then you got Bruno, who's always got her hands in his mouth, and like he's
Yeah,
weird and overly agreeable and seemingly desperate. So I just think there could have been more matches and maybe a better match. I don't know, but
agreed.
I'm I'm kind of, I think she should have got us at least a third of what Tony got with matches.
True, but I also can't see. I mean, so Monica went on her first date with Bernardo, and then she went on that date with Bruno, and then she had a whole meltdown about what happened. And so,
Yeah.
could you imagine if she caught herself a third man and how that would like she'd
At
probably
this
combust.
at this point we just need to test her, like she can't fall in love with every single person in the world. Like it's just insane. Like
That's true. You're right, but I don't know if she would agree with that.
I would
So
put
I
her on
think
an
that's
I
what
would put her
Lisa's.
on an intentionally bad date to see how she does, because she's
She's
just
the only one
this-
who hasn't gotten an intentionally bad date.
she's a star. She's a star dater. It seems like she can make any situation fine. But
My
it's like,
suspicion is actually that Louisa thought that Bernardo was the intentionally bad date because he's so
uh,
sloppy and so blasé and not really direct about what
so
he wants in life. And I think Louisa thought that Monica would hate that.
she
When
should
in
have put her
reality,
on a damn date with Tony and seen how that went.
facts.
That would have been a terrible date for anyone. I don't care who you are.
Anyways, you all stick around. We have at least 3 more episodes to cover, if not more, and I'm really excited for the drama to come along with all of it. So please do not forget to like our video, to leave comments about how you're feeling. Who are your favorite couples? How are you feeling about these love triangles? Like, what do you want Amber to do? What do you want Monica to do? How do you feel about all of this? So tell us, drop your comments. We love to read them. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed, and hit the share button. Copy our link. See you later. Sayonara.
All of it.
Taki tiki.
Yep. And we're going to buckle in for the season that doesn't end. But thank y'all, Chick Chat. Remember, reduce, reuse, recycle, Rihanna, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
Goodbye.